Hi folks, this is Didier from Pikcio. This is our weekly update, this time from Tokyo, where it's about night and it's been raining all day. So what happened this last week? Well, I saw the last version of the wallet and also of the mainnet. We're getting pretty close to our beta version. We're right on par with our roadmap, and we're still targeting the release at the end of June. So bear with us. We had a very large meetup in Montpellier. It's kind of a meetup. It's a whole day of meetings and workshop, etc. We organized for the Occitanie region, which is the region of Montpellier. Pretty successful with a lot of potential developers and industries, etc. In Dubai, our team was at the had a booth at the blockchain summit and came back with several requests of demo and pilot. So more on that in the next few weeks. I personally came back from vacation. I don't know if they were deserved, but I was really looking for these few days. So it was fantastic. And I flew directly to Malaysia. Despite the fact that most of the meetings that I had were canceled more due to the results of the election. I mean, not the result, but the fact that the opposition won and then they had vacation for a few days. I was still able to meet a few people, key people that made me decide to maybe push the button for creating the subsidiary in Kuala Lumpur. So we will have subsidiary in Kuala Lumpur in the next few months, probably somewhere in the summer because there's Ramadan and a few other festivals after that. But the decision is made to have a Kuala Lumpur office so we can cover the whole Middle East, which, by the way, represent, I think, around 650 million or even 700 million individuals. So very, very interesting and active market for us. Remember, meeting with central bank and a few other large banks in Malaysia, which will allow us to, after that, open the door for Indonesia, etc. So very important step. I'm very pleased that we made that decision. And then we also opened an office in Zurich. I think I mentioned that last time, or we were about to. So now it's done. We have an office in Zurich at the Trust Center. We have 6 positions, very large office, where we will start to have meetups and workshops, and also invited some startups to participate in the Pikcio Accelerator. Also extended an invitation to Da Hongfei, so Leo could have a representation at our office, and they're looking at it. Great, so that was last week, and what about this week? So this week, as I just said, I'm in Japan for several meetings with investors, but also very important event with our partner Plug and Play. As you know, we are with Plug and Play in Paris. We're now in Abu Dhabi, and hopefully we will be in Tokyo, where we're going to pitch in front of major banks of Japan and of the region. And hopefully we'll be able to come back with a pilot with them around the KYC and compliance project. Gonzague just flew tonight to Tunisia, and where we'll pitch in front of major banks, this time from Africa. And our ambassador, Urs, is now in Singapore for a lot of meetings during the IDC Financial Insight. And then he will fly to Beijing for as a speaker, or is invited as a speaker for the Future of Finance Summit. A very important event in Beijing, and for us, very important next step towards our landing in Shanghai. Now, I'm sure you are all waiting for our last update, which the question that has been on everyone's mind and regarding the distribution of the PK6. A lot of you have asked for transparency on the details, so let me shed some light on it. So you know the reason why the process takes longer than we expected, and obviously that you expected. But let me also take that opportunity to thank the 99.99% of you who showed a lot of maturity in your behavior and your questions and your understanding that this market is a rock and roll market, and but you continue your fantastic support, so thank you. As you know, one of the reasons is that we barred U.S. citizens from participating, and therefore we had to start a long time ago, but we're still reimbursing every one of them, and one by one. And that's part of our audit, of course. But that means we are heavily dependent on their cooperation for that. And since every return address has to be verified and has to be in mail format, we still have a few individuals who haven't responded. I'm sure they will in the next few days, and we'll be able to wrap that up. Now, we also had many failed transactions due to people not filing in the data field, and anymore where the eligibility of certain claims had to be sorted manually. It happens. In this case, probably because the site was down for a bit, we had to address all of it manually, and that takes a lot of time. We also had transactions made without an order attached to them. This had to be either reverted or connected with an order. All of this, of course, manually. Some people have shared contribution address with their friends. We hadn't KYC, even though that was not allowed or recommended. So we have a lot of unmatched transaction IDs in the system, and that's we went one by one to them. We are at the end. This is done now, so at least that part is done. We also had people sending their contribution from exchanges, from those we asked not to, but anyway, it happened, and so we had to solve that as well. It took a lot of time, but that's done as well. Altogether, that's accumulated a lot of extra handwork in the process that we were not expected at all, but that we now have resolved or almost resolved. So we're fully aware of some irritation that has those, and trust me, I'm not a very patient person. That did it for me as well. But as a company, we want to make sure that everything is handled properly, as not to jeopardize long-term goals and your long-term interest as well. So you deserve the clear communication, and we promise that you can depend on that. And in this spirit, let me say now, that's the important part, we're going to release the token in the next 25 days. We will continue to answer all the questions in the meantime and updating you with everything that's going on behind the scenes. We are working tirelessly to continue to make this project even more successful as it is already, and also more exciting. I hope I'm sharing that with you because I find it very, very exciting. We hope that you join us in our vision, and you will support us in the great and excellent course that are about to come. Thank you very much.